Let us now solve a few questions based on quadratic equations. Let's take a look at the first word problem. Mukund possesses rupees 50 more than what Sagar has. The product of the amount that they have is rupees 15,000. So the product of the money that they have is 15,000 means the money that Mukund has multiplied by the money that Sagar has is equal to rupees 15,000, right? So let's see what is the condition given. Mukund possesses 50 rupees more than what Sagar possesses. So if Sagar possesses X, so let Sagar have rupees X. Then Mukund has 50 rupees more than what Sagar has. So I can say that Mukund therefore has X plus 50, right? X plus 50 rupees, and therefore their product is given as 15,000. So I can say money that Mukund has is X plus 50 multiplied by money that Sagar has is X. This product is equal to 15,000. So if I open up the brackets, I get X square plus 50X is equal to 15,000, which means X square plus 50X minus 15,000 is equal to 0. And now we need to solve this particular quadratic equation. Let me try to find the numbers. So 15,000 can be split as 1500 multiplied by 10, but that is not going to make up sum of 50. Then let's divide this by 2. So it is 750. So when I divide 1500 by 2, it is 750. So 10 multiplied by 2 is 20. So 750 and 20 also don't make up 50. Let's divide this further by 5. So this becomes 150. If I divide 750 by 5, let me multiply 20 by 5. So 20 multiplied by 5 becomes 100. And therefore the numbers are 150 and 100. The sum is positive, which means that the greater number is positive and the smaller number is negative. So we get X square plus 150X minus 100X minus 15,000 is equal to 0. In these two terms, X is common. So X into X plus 150. In these two terms, minus 100 is common. Bracket X plus 150 is equal to 0. This implies X plus 150 multiplied by X minus 100 is equal to 0, which implies X is either negative 150 or X equals 100, and therefore the money that Sagar has is rupees 100. It cannot be negative 150, so we have to say that since the money possessed cannot be negative, discarding this particular solution. So you will have to mention it, and therefore X is equal to 100. So Sagar has rupees X, which is equal to 100, and Mukund has 50 more than what Sagar has. Therefore, Mukund will have rupees 150. This is the money that both of them have. So let me pause for a couple of seconds before moving on to my next question. Moving on to the next question. A train travels 360 kilometers with uniform speed. So the total distance traveled is 360 kilometers. The speed of the train is increased by 5 kilometers per hour. Then it takes 48 minutes. It takes 48 minutes less to cover the same distance. Find the initial speed of the train. So it's given that the total distance is 360 kilometers. Let us quickly plot it. So the distance here is 360 kilometers. Let's assume that the initial speed is x. So let the initial speed of the train be x kilometers per hour, right? So the initial speed is x kilometers per hour, and therefore the time taken to cover this distance is going to be 360 upon x hours, right? This is the time that it will take to cover the distance, because I know that time is equal to distance upon speed. So distance is 360 and the speed is x, therefore the time taken is going to be 360 by x. So I have noted down the distance here, I have noted down the speed here, and I have noted down the time here. Now let's see what else they have given. They have said that if the speed of the train was increased by 5 kilometers per hour, that is, I am covering the same distance, that is 360 kilometers. The speed initially was x kilometers per hour. Now the speed of the train has increased by 5 kilometers per hour. That means the speed of the train now is x plus 5 kilometers per hour. Then in this case, what would be the time taken? The time taken is going to be distance divided by speed again, that is 360 upon x plus 5 hours. Right? So I have applied the same concepts in both the expressions for time. Now let's see what it says. It says it takes 48 minutes less to cover the same distance. So time taken in second case is 48 minutes less than time taken in the first case. Which means that mathematically I can say that time taken in the second case is time taken in the first case minus 48 minutes, right? Time taken in the second case is 48 minutes less than time taken in the first case. Now, by the way, both the times have been mentioned in hours. If you notice, the expressions for time had the units of hours because the distance was in kilometers and the speed was in kilometers per hour. That's why the time is in hours, which means I need to convert this 48 minutes into hours. So how can I do that? I know that 60 minutes is 1 hour. So 48 minutes is going to be 48 divided by 60 hours. That is going to be 4/5 of an hour. So time taken in the second case is time taken in the first case minus 4 upon 5. Again, how did I get 4 by 5? Because 48 by 60 is divisible by 12. 12 4s are 48 and 12 5s are 60. That is how I got 4 by 5. Now, what is the time taken in the second case? It is 360 divided by x plus 5. This is equal to time taken in the first case is 360 upon x minus 4 by 5. Now I can find the LCM over here. So in the RHS I can find the LCM. Let us now go ahead and find the LCM. So in the RHS the LCM is 5x. So I can say 360 upon x plus 5 is equal to LCM of x and 5 is 5x. So 360 into 5 is 1800 minus x into 4 is 4x. Cross multiply, so 360 into 5x, 360 multiplied by 5x is equal to 1800 minus 4x multiplied by x plus 5. So 360 into 5x is 1800x is equal to 1800 into x is 1800x. 1800 into 5 is 9000. Minus 4x into x is minus 4x square. And minus 4x into 5 is minus 20x. So now 1800x cancels from both sides. And shifting all the terms to the left hand side, I get 4x square plus 20x minus 9000 is equal to 0. Dividing throughout by 4, I get x square plus 5x minus 9000 divided by 4 is going to be 2250. So minus 2250 is equal to 0. So this is the quadratic equation that I should be solving. However, I am just going to pause for a minute. I am going to let you take a look at what all was done over here before we continue. Okay, so now this is the quadratic equation I have. I can factorize this as x plus 50 times x minus 45 is equal to 0, and therefore x is either negative 50, x is either minus 50, or x is positive 45. Now again, speed cannot be negative because we are considering that the direction of motion is in one particular direction. So we discard negative speed, and therefore x is 45 kilometers per hour. This is the speed of the train, the initial speed of the train. And if we can quickly check our answer, suppose you cover 360 kilometers at 45 kilometers per hour, you are going to take 8 hours. Whereas if you travel faster by 5 kilometers per hour, your speed becomes 50. So 360 kilometers at 50 kilometers per hour, you are going to take 7 hours and 0.2 hours. So totally it will be 360 divided by 50, which is 7.2 hours, right? 7.2 hours, which is going to be 7 hours and 12 minutes. And you will notice that this is 48 minutes less than the usual time. So this is how you solve this particular question. I will pause for a couple of seconds before moving on. Moving on to the next question. Pintu takes 6 more days than those of Nishu to complete a certain work. If they work together, they finish the work in 4 days. How many days would it take to complete the work if they work alone? So let Pintu take, this is a time and work problem. So I will say let Pintu take X days to finish the work alone. And Pintu takes 6 days more than Nishu, right? So Nishu takes 6 days less than Pintu. That therefore I can say that Nishu will take x minus 6 days to finish the same work. Right? If they work together, they finish it in 4 days. So we know that since Pintu takes x days to finish the work alone, I definitely cannot add the number of days, right? Because that makes no sense. If someone takes 2 days to complete a work and another person takes 8 days to complete the work, then adding these two is going to be 10 days, and that is against our logic. If one person takes 2 days to complete the work and the other takes 8 days, then together they should take less than 2 days, right? Because they are helping each other. So you definitely cannot add the number of days taken to calculate the total number of days. However, the work done in 1 day can definitely be added. So if Pintu takes x days to finish the work alone, I can say in one day Pintu will finish 1 by x of the work. Similarly, in one day Nishu will finish 1 by x minus 6th of the work. Right? Now they together finish it in 4 days. That means, suppose this is the work that they have to complete, say painting this particular wall. They complete this work in 4 days. It means in 1 day they complete 1/4 of the work. This is the work that is complete in 1 day. So the fraction of the work complete in 1 day is 1/4 of the work. That means the work done by Pintu plus the work done by Nishu in 1 day, this total is going to be 1/4. So assume that in this 1/4, maybe Pintu is doing this work and Nishu is doing this particular work. So together in 1 day, they end up completing 1/4 of the whole work, right? That is what this question says. That is why I have added the work done by them in 1 day. So 1 by x plus 1 by x minus 6 is equal to 4. The LCM of x and x minus 6 is x into x minus 6. So this becomes x multiplied by x minus 6. In the numerator, this x should be multiplied by x minus 6, which means the numerator here should also be multiplied by x minus 6. So this becomes x minus 6 plus. This x minus 6 needs to be multiplied by x, which means this should be multiplied by x. So it becomes 1x equals 1/4. Again, let me quickly explain this. 1 by x is the work done by Pintu in 1 day, right? So this is the work done by Pintu in 1 day, and this is the work done by Nishu in 1 day. Together they are completing 1/4 of the work. Now how did I conclude it's 1/4 of the work? Because they complete the work in 4 days, which means in 1 day they complete 1/4 of the work. This is assuming that they do uniform work, that is the same amount of work in the same time. So x plus x becomes 2x, and then I found the LCM of x and x minus 6. The LCM of x and x minus 6 was x into x minus 6, and the numerators were calculated. Now there are like terms in the numerator, so it becomes 2x minus 6 the whole divided by x square minus 6x is equal to 1/4. Cross multiplying 8x minus 24 is equal to x square minus 6x, which means x square minus 6x minus 8x is minus 14x plus 24 is equal to 0. This is my quadratic equation now. Now if this is the quadratic equation, again I need two numbers whose product is 24 and the sum is negative 14. The two numbers would therefore be negative 12 and negative 2. Negative 12 into negative 2 is positive 24 and negative 12 negative 2 is negative 14. So this factorizes as x minus 12 multiplied by x minus 2 is equal to 0, which means x is either 12 or x is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 12, let's now see there are two possible values for x. Let's see which of them is right. Suppose x equals 12. So let's take the case when x is equal to 12. Right? I have x equals 12. So Pintu is taking x days. That is, he takes 12 days. And Nishu will take x minus 6. That is 12 minus 6 days. 12 minus 6 days is going to be 6 days. So this is one valid solution. Whereas if x is equal to 2, that means Pintu takes 2 days to complete the work. And Nishu will take 2 minus 6, that is minus 4 days to complete the work, which is not valid because nobody can take negative 4 days to complete a work. Time cannot be negative. That's why the only acceptable solution here is Pintu takes 12 days and Nishu takes 6 days to complete the same work. That's going to be my final answer. I would be pausing for a minute before I move on with my next question. Moving on to the next question. If 460 is divided by a natural, the quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor and the remainder is 1. So let's see what the condition is. There is a number which is 460. This 460 of course is my dividend. The number 460 is divided by a certain number. So let that number be x. The quotient is 6 more than. So quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. That is 5 times x. This is called the divisor. This number is called the divisor. 460 is my dividend. The quotient is 6 more than 5 times the divisor. So this is the quotient and the remainder is going to be 1. So how can I solve this particular question? I know that the relation is dividend. Dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by quotient plus the remainder. So what is the dividend over here? Dividend is 460 is equal to divisor is x multiplied by the quotient, which is 6 plus 5x, and the remainder is 1. So I got 460 is equal to 5x square plus 6x plus 1, which means 5x square plus 6x minus 459 is equal to 0. So now we have to factorize these numbers so that I get the right root. The product given here is 5 into 459 and the sum that I want is positive 6. of course the product is going to be negative. So one of the two numbers is going to be negative and the larger number is going to be positive. So let us find the two numbers. So 5 into 459, let us start finding different combinations. 459 is divisible by 3. So let's divide 459 by 3. It is 153. Let's multiply 5 by 3. It is 15. This combination won't give me a sum of 6. Let's split the 153. So 153 is, I think, 17 nines are. Let's see if some combination here helps me. 9 can be split as 3 threes are. So this is 15 into 17 and 9 is split as 3 into 3. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to split the given numbers into its factors. And I'm now trying to see if some combination of factors helps me. So 15 threes are 45 and 17 threes are 51. I think this combination will most certainly help me. So 45 and 51 will certainly help me. The sum is positive. So this is positive 51 and negative 45. So now what I get is 5x square negative 45x plus 51x negative 459 is equal to 0. Taking 5x as common, so 5x into x minus 9 plus 51 into x minus 9 is equal to 0, which means x minus 9 into 5x plus 51 is equal to 0, and therefore x is either 9 or negative 51 by 5. Now again, we don't want a negative number because it is divided by a natural number that is given to us, which means x has to be 9. So x is the divisor. So the divisor is going to be 9. The divisor is going to be 9. And the quotient, of course, you can divide 460 by 9 to find the quotient, or the quotient is 6 plus 5x. X is 9. So 5 nines are 45. 45 plus 6 is going to be 51. So the quotient is 51 and the divisor is 9. This is the final answer. So again, let me pause for a minute while you take a look at the solution. The most important thing that you should take a look at is the idea of splitting the product. I think that is very important. So take a look at how I split these numbers and how I try to play around with multiple factors and find the right combination. Moving on to the next question. Dinesh owns an agricultural farm at village Tarwell. The length of the farm is 10 meters more than twice the breadth. Okay, so there is a rectangular farm. So let's make a quick diagram. The length is 10 meters more than twice the breadth. So let's assume that the breadth is x, right? Let's assume that the breadth of this particular farm is x. So the length is 10 meters more than twice the breadth. That means the length is 10 meters more. The length is 10 meters more than twice the breadth. That is, the length is 10 plus 2x. In order to harvest rainwater, he dug a square-shaped pond inside the farm. So this is a square-shaped pond that he has dug inside the farm. The side of the pond is 1/3 of the breadth of the farm. That means this side of the farm is 1/3 of the breadth. The breadth is x, so this is x by 3. The area of the farm is 20 times the area of the pond. So let's make the equation now. It's given that the area of the farm is 20 times the area of the pond. So this is the pond here. Let's shade it with the blue color. And this is the farm here. So let's shade it with the green color. So now let's make our expressions first. Area of the farm is going to be the length multiplied by breadth. So that's x multiplied by, that's going to be x multiplied by 10 plus 2x. This is the area of the farm. This is 20 times the area of the pond. So this is a square pond. We know that the side of the square is x by 3. So the area of this pond is going to be 1 by 3x the whole square. So this becomes 10x plus 2x square is equal to 20 multiplied by x square divided by 9. Cross multiplying 9, I get 9 into 10x plus 2x square is equal to 20x square, which means 90x plus 18x square is equal to 20x square, which means 2x square minus 90x is equal to 0. This implies x into, or I can take 2x common. So 2x into x minus 45 is therefore equal to 0, which implies either x is 0 or x minus 45 is 0, and therefore x can be either 0 or 45. Therefore, the length of the farm is going to be 10 plus 2 times x. 2 times 45 is 90, 10 plus 90 is 100 meters. The breadth of the farm is x, which is 45 meters. And the side of the pond is 1/3 of x, which is 1/3 of 45, that is 15 meters. So these are the dimensions of the given farm as well as pond. So the dimensions of the farm are 45 meters by 100 meters or 100 meters by 45 meters, and the pond has dimensions. So the pond has dimension of 15 meters. It's a square pond, so each dimension is 15 meters. So this is how we solve this particular question. Again, pausing for a few seconds before I move on. Moving on to the next question. Ranjana wants to distribute 540 oranges among some students. So this is a good candidate for making a nice table. So let's make a quick table. So it's given that 540 oranges were distributed among some students. So let's assume that the number of students is x. Also find the number of students. So I think assigning x as the variable for number of students makes a lot of sense here. So I would say let the number of students be x. Therefore, the oranges that each student is going to receive is going to be 540 divided by x. Now let's see what other condition is given. If 30 students were more, that is, instead of x students, if x plus 30 students were there, again I had to distribute 540 oranges. So 540 oranges are distributed in x plus 30 students. Now let's find how many oranges each student would get. So each student would therefore receive 540 divided by x plus 30 oranges, right? The oranges per student is going to be the total number of oranges divided by the number of students. That is the number of oranges that each student will receive. Now let's see what's given. It's given that in the second case, so this is the first case and this is the second case. It's given that if 30 students were more, each student would get 3 oranges less. That means the number of oranges in case 2, number of oranges in the second case is 3 less than the number of oranges per person, of course, per student in first case, right? So oranges per students is what we are discussing. So this means the number of oranges received in the second case, that is 540 upon x plus 30. This is the number of oranges received in the second case is 3 less than the number of oranges received in the first case. That is 540 by x minus 3. So now again I am going to solve the quadratic equation over here. I can find the LCM on the RHS. So I get 540 divided by x plus 30 is equal to 540 minus 3x divided by x. Cross multiplying, I get 540 multiplied by x is equal to x plus 30 multiplied by 540 minus 3x. So let's open up the brackets now. So I get 540x is equal to x into 540 is 540x. 30 into 540 is 16200. X into minus 3x is minus 3x square. And x into 30 into minus 3x is minus 90x. So now from both sides I have opened the brackets here. From both sides 540x cancels. So arranging all terms on one side I get 3x square plus 90x minus 16200 is equal to 0. Dividing by 3, I get x square plus 30x minus 5400 is equal to 0. This is now the equation that I have. I am going to pause for a minute so that you take a look at what different ideas were used here. Please understand the table appropriately so that once you understand the table, you can understand how the equation was formed between the number of oranges per student, and then finding the LCM and cross multiplication was basically the technique used in this particular problem. So I will just pause for a minute and you can take a look at the solution. We are yet to solve this quadratic equation, which we will, but take a look at the other techniques used in this particular solution. So now let us find two numbers whose product is 5400. Let's start splitting this. The sum has to be positive 30. So this can be split as 540 tens are. That won't give me a sum of 30. Let's divide it further by say 2. So 270. So 540 by 2 is 270. Multiply this by 2. This becomes 20. This still doesn't give me a sum of 30. Let's divide this by 3 now. So I get 90, and let's multiply this by 3. I get 60. So 90 and 60 seem to be the right combination. The sum is positive, which means that 90 has to be positive and 60 has to be negative. So this becomes x minus 60 multiplied by x plus 90 is equal to 0, which means x is either 60 or negative 90. Now again here the number of students cannot be negative, so you have to reject this solution. Again you will have to mention this explicitly, saying that since x represents the number of students, it cannot be negative. Therefore, there are 60 students in this particular problem. Now let's see if this matches our understanding. So there were 60 students earlier. So let's fix this at 60. 540 oranges split in 60 students is going to be 9 oranges per student, because 540 by 60 is 9. If the number of students increased by 30, so it became 90 students here, then 540 by 90 is going to be 6. That is, each student gets 3 oranges less. And that matches the condition that was given in the question, and hence our solution is right. So again, pausing for a minute. We end today's session over here.